Hello soulmates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new to this channel, you are very much welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always stopping by. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to cut and also how to sew this beautiful top. So this is the inspiration of the top on the screen right now, and this is what my recreation looks like. As you can see, this blouse has a built-up neckline and it also has some pleats at the shoulder area. So if this is something that interests you, please like this video, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into the video. Welcome back guys. So for this tutorial, I'll be using a Duchess fabric and my fabric is just 1 yard. Please note that I am size 6, so if you are size 8 or size 10, you may need just slightly above what I used. So for this tutorial, we'll be drafting a pattern first. So this is a simple blouse pattern. It has the shoulder, the bust, the waist, and the blouse length. So for the built-up neckline of this top, that is why I extended this line upward by 2 inches. So the first thing I'm doing now is to divide my shoulder into 2. Then I added 5 inches for the sleeve. So I divided my shoulder into 2. My shoulder is 15, so 15 divided by 2 is 7.5 plus extra 5 inches. So now I'm going down around this part by 1.5 inches. Then I'll connect it towards like this. So I'll just mark it like this. This is just to serve as a shoulder slope. So for my sleeve opening, I made use of 6 inches. So I'll be making use of 6 inches for my sleeve opening. Actually, my curve or my round measurement around this part is like 10 inches, but I'm using 12 inches. So whatsoever your curve measurement is, just add 2 inches to it, then you divide it by 2. So mine is 12 inches, so 12 divided by 2, that's 6. So now you go over to this part here, then you measure your bust measurement divided by 4. You know this top is a free top, so we'll be adding ease allowance to our top. So I made use of ease allowance of 2 inches. So you should use about 2 inches for your ease allowance, or you can use 2.5. So I will not be adding any sewing allowance to this pattern because I'll be adding it when I'm cutting my fabric. Please take note. So the next thing to do is to measure everything you have here, your bust with your ease allowance. Then I'll be marking the same thing at my blouse length. I'll just be marking it downward like this. So that is what will be my measurement at my blouse length. So if you measure this and you notice it is not up to your hip measurement, please add extra to it. This is because my hip and my bust is almost the same thing. That is why I could transfer this measurement. So I'll be connecting these points like this, just like a curve like this. So this is how I'll be connecting these points. Then I'll also be using my marker to roll this downwards. So the shoulder opening, the sleeve opening rather, I'll be rolling this out so that you can see what I have. So I have 6 inches over there, and this is my shoulder slope here. So the next thing I'm doing now is to measure 2.5 inches. Please, I would advise you use 3 inches because I noticed my neckline was quite tight. So I would advise you use 3 inches. So you measure 3 inches, then you roll it upward like this. Then after rolling it upward, you just blend this into this shoulder slope. So in case you don't know where to blend it in, you can just measure 5 inches, which I'll be showing you. You can just measure 5 inches, then you blend it into the 5 inches. So you measure 5 inches like this, then you just blend it from the top towards that part. Like I said, the measurement at this top area should be 3 inches. Yes, the next thing I'll be doing now is to measure 0.5 inches, that is half inch downwards. So after marking it downwards, then I will just be connecting it back into this neckline. I'll be connecting it back into this neckline, and this is what it looks like. So I'll go ahead now and just explain what I did again. So I measured my shoulder divided by 2. I added my sleeve, then I measured my bust divided by 4, added my ease allowance, then the sleeve opening. Just go over this video again if you don't understand, please, because this is very easy. And in case you want a detailed tutorial about a built-up neckline, I will link it up here so that you can see. I have a video on that. So now after cutting this, we'll use this pattern to quickly cut our back bodice. So this is my fabric. I've folded it into 2. then I will be cutting my back bodice. As you can see, I'm adding my hemming allowance and joining allowance to the side and to the bottom of this top. So for the sleeve area also, I will add 1 inch to hem the opening of that sleeve. And for this upper part, I will just be adding half inch. So for this upper part and the shoulder area, I'll be adding half inch. That is the neckline and the shoulder area, I will add half inch. But all other places, I'm adding 1 inch. So now since we've cut the back, I'll just go ahead and remove this so we can work on our pattern for the front bodice. So as you can see that the pattern is on fold, so I'll just open it up like this, and wherever you want your pleat to be, just try and locate that side. So I'm using this side here for my pleat. So what I did was to measure my shoulder divided by 2. So I want the pleat to stop around this area. You know, the remaining part will be for our sleeve. So I want it to start where this curve is ending, then it will stop at this shoulder area. So you can just choose anywhere around this shoulder point before you get to this built-up neckline. So now I'll just be ruling a line. I'll be ruling a line inward, just like this, because we'll be making a slash and spread for the front. So it will be a slash and spread. So we have to connect this inward. As you can see, I am measuring just 3 lines. I'm just marking just 3 lines. Then you mark it towards the other side of your bodice like this. Then you cut it down. You have to cut it downward, because if you don't cut it downward, this thing will not spread. We just lash it and it will not spread. So you make sure you cut it downward like this so that you can spread it. So it will be easy for you to spread when you cut it downward. So after splashing it, this is what I have. So when I want to cut it on my fabric, I'll be leaving 2 inches space in between these 3 parts. I will leave 2 inches space. So this is what I have. Yeah, so I've spread my pattern on my fabric, and this is what it is looking like. So now I went ahead to cut. As you can see, for the neckline and the shoulder area, ½ inch, while for the other part I use 1 inch. That is the sleeve opening, the side and the hemming, I use 1 inch. So this is what it looks like. And I went ahead to notch the opening I have. I notched the opening I have, that is the space I left. I notch it because that will be the folding. That will be the folding, so I can know where to fold. So this is what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to fold it in. So I will fold it in and I will use my pin to hold it down. So you go ahead and fold in the 3 parts. So this is what it looks like. So when I'm done, I measure this with the other side and I noticed it was quite small. That means I have folded more than I should have folded in. So I'll just correct that now and I'll make sure that both sides are equal. So I went ahead to cut out this small facing for the front. It is very small. This is just for the neckline because I don't want to hem it with a bias. So I cut out this small facing and we'll be sewing the neckline alone, not the shoulder part though. Just this small neckline, we'll be sewing it with ½ inch. Then this is the back. I also cut out a facing for the back, but this is how the facing for the back looks like. As you can see, it is deep, like inward. It is long. This is because there will be an opening at this back part, because you know this is a built-up neckline. We have to put enough opening at this side. So I'm folding my back bodice into 2 like this. Then I will open up this part here. So I open it up to 7 inches. Please, you can do 8 inches so that you can easily wear this top. So I did 7 inches, but it was a little bit tight, but not too tight. But you can do 8 inches. You can just do 8 inches. Then I'll just place it like this. I'll place it like this. So I'll be sewing this opening and also the neckline. I did not open my facing because I don't like to open the facing. I just like to open one. So you can open the facing, then you open the back, then you just sew. But I like to just place my fabric on the facing, then I will just sew on it. So you go ahead and pin it down, then you go ahead and sew this part, then you sew the other side. So after sewing, this is what I have. Make sure you notch the opening at the back so that you can turn it well. So after ironing, this is what I have. I'm sorry, my iron made a mess on my fabric. So it's time to join the shoulder area together. So I'll be using this small facing. As you can see, I flipped it over, then I put the back bodice in between the front. This is just to make it neat at that side. So after sewing, you just go ahead and trim off the excess you have at the neckline. So you now go ahead and just turn it in. So the joining will be kind of inside for that part, while for the other parts it will be open. So for the smaller parts towards the neckline area, the joining will be inside. So this is what it looks like. The only thing remaining now is to hem the sleeve opening. I know we added 1 inch for the ease allowance, so I'll be folding it with ½ inch, then I'll be hemming the sleeve opening. After that, the next thing I'll be doing is to join the side and to also hem the lower part of the blouse, that is the opening of the blouse. I will also hem that. So now for the back of this my top, I want to add this buttonhole. So I want to add this buttonhole to it. So I'll be adding two. You can add it all the way down, or you can even use a zipper depending on your preference. But I want to use this buttonholes, and I'm using two holes because I have just two buttons available. So I will use two. You can also use this hook and eye if that's what you have. You can just use two of the hook and eye too instead of this button holes. So I'll go ahead now and I'll just pin this down. Then I'll use my machine to sew it, to secure it down too. So I'll first pin it down at my desired point. So I'm spacing it. So I'll go ahead and sew it down. Then I'll go ahead and also fix my button. So guys, when I was done, I went ahead to also iron my top, and this is what it looks like, and this is what the back looks like. So this is what the back looks like. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye.